Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here to talk about the European League Super Weekend that's just about to kick off. First though, I want to touch on last Playday. I just want to quickly run through the games and the results and what I thought about them. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it and I'm going to talk about those quickly. So first up we had Trainhard versus Empire, and Empire managed to win it out in overtime. I was expecting Empire to win, I just didn't expect it to be so close, and I think that's really just a testament to how Empire prefer to play teams that they know. You know, Trainhard weren't a known quantity to Empire, so with Empire basing a lot of their strategies around predictability, Trainhard were just really going against the curve and throwing some major curveballs Empire's way, and they had trouble reading it and picking up on it, and it really played into Trainhard's favour. They just couldn't quite cross the finish line with it. So Empire still took the win. It was a deserved win, don't get me wrong. It was just much closer than I would have preferred. The second match last Playday was Virtus Pro versus Cavanagh. And this was again another really close match. And this one was so fun to watch. Both teams were just straight out the gate with so much aggression. Both teams really showed that they had great chemistry and they were willing to just go toe-to-toe and take it blow for blow against each other, snatching rounds out of the hands of the other team when you'd least expect it. It was just a crazy game to watch, and I'm so happy that Cavanagh managed to win it in overtime. Up the Varna, man. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. What a game from the boys. Game number 3 was G2 versus BDS, and this one went the way I think most of us were expecting it to. BDS won it out quite convincingly. The big talking point for me though on the side of G2 is it looks like Kanto is back. It looks like he's warmed up, he's ready for the rest of the stage, and hopefully he'll be able to carry that forward into the Invitational and then stage 2. So it's going to be interesting to see what G2 can pull off now that Kanto's back and firing. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the boys can do. The fourth match was Navi versus Rogue, and Navi just looked so dominant. They looked so powerful. Every member of the team was picking up slack when required. So many of them were just popping 2Ks, 3Ks, 4Ks where needed, really stepping up for the team. The only player who I think the light didn't shine so brightly on was Saves, but he just seemed to be having one of those games where he was shooting people, they just weren't dying, they'd run away and take a gunfight elsewhere and Saves would get picked off in the meantime. So he racked up plenty of assists, so he really did soften up Rogue for his teammates. But wow, what a game, man. Navi just looked so dominant, it was insane. Finally then, it was Vitality versus Secret, and this is the game that really stopped me getting a 5 out of 5 prediction line. So yeah, I mean, Secret managed to win it. I really wasn't expecting it, but they took Vitality to coastline with the singular goal of just out-fragging them and clicking more heads, and it paid off. Vitality just weren't ready for it, and it showed. Secret were just a well-oiled machine on the day, just running around the map and clicking heads where needed. So that wraps up my reactions to last Playdays matches. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the predictions for the Super Weekend. I've got 2 Playdays to predict here, so I'm going to try and keep things quick and snappy for you. Just some quick fire predictions, so let's go. Match number 1 then is going to be Vitality versus Trainhard. And I think this is a bit of a tricky one. Vitality looked a little bit weaker than we expected against Secret, and I think Trainhard might be willing to capitalise on that. So I'm actually going to slide my prediction Trainhard's way. I've been real rough to them this stage, but I think it's finally time that I back them. They can't keep going just losing or going to overtime and losing. I feel like they're really going to surprise Vitality here, and it should be a good game to watch. Who knows, maybe they'll decide to take them to coastline as well and just focus on clicking more heads than Vitality do. Match number 2 then is going to be Navi versus Empire. I'm not wearing this Navi hat for no reason. I'm going to give my prediction to Navi here. Empire will look stronger because, again, I'm really playing into the storyline that Empire are more comfortable playing against teams that they know. So I think Empire could push it possibly all the way to overtime. That being said, though, I'm still going to have to slide my prediction Navi's way. They've looked too dominant. They've looked too strong. I'm expecting a big game from Doki and the boys on this one. So yeah, this one goes to Navi. Match number 3 is going to be Virtus Pro versus Secret. Secret are going to be riding quite high on their win against Vitality. Virtus Pro are going to be quite low after losing out in overtime to Cavanagh. I think this could be a really scrappy match. That being said, though, I think Virtus Pro just have a little bit more pedigree on this one. I think they've just got a little bit more firepower, and that's really just going to help push them across the finish line. So I'm going to give this one to Virtus Pro, but I wouldn't be surprised if Secret can maybe push it to overtime and snatch the points out from under Virtus Pro's nose. Match number 4 is going to be G2 versus Rogue. My heart really does say go with G2 on this one, but Rogue have looked really strong in patches this season. They could be willing to take it to G2, and to be honest, I could kind of flip a coin on this one. But that being said, I'm going to go with my heart, and I'm going to say that G2 and the boys take this. With the resurgence in Kanto's form, I feel like they're going to just have the big guns at the ready, and they're just going to be ready for anything that Rogue can throw at them, to be quite honest. Finally then, we have BDS versus Cavanagh on Playday 8. My heart says go with Cavanagh. I'm really happy with what the boys have been able to do, and if they beat BDS, then it puts them in for a good shot at second place, which is absolutely insane. Having seen the recent documentary video on these guys, going through the open qualifiers to get into Challenger League, it's just an absolutely insane story, and the boys deserve this 100%. But I don't think they're going to have what it takes to topple BDS. BDS are too strong. They are the top team in this league pretty much. You know, they don't have many chinks in their armour. However, if Cavanagh can find one, they will capitalise on it. I'm going to go ahead and throw my balls to the wall on this one. I'm going to say Cavanagh take this. I'm probably going to look quite silly when BDS do take it. But I just can't. I just want the storyline. I want Cavanagh to beat them. I want them to slay the giant. Yeah, let's go. Up the Varna. Moving into Playday 9 then, which will be the final Playday wrapping up the first stage of the EU League, we have Trainhard versus Rogue. I'm going to give this one to Rogue. I'm sorry, Trainhard. Rogue will be looking to finish as high as they can, and your prime prey for them, to be quite honest. Rogue are really just going to pounce on this one. They're going to take the opportunity to finish as high as they can. They're going to be out all guns blazing. I'm going to have to give this one to Leon and the boys. I don't see it going any other way, unfortunately, but Trainhard might surprise us. Who knows? I think they're going to have a much stronger stage 2. But now, Rogue are going to have to take this one if they want any chances of finishing as high as people might be expecting them to now, given their resurgence this stage. Game number 2 is going to be Empire versus Secret. I want to give this one to Empire. Again, I'm really pushing hard on the fact that Empire play better against teams that they're familiar with. Secret are one of those teams, albeit a slightly different Secret to maybe what Empire might be used to. That being said, I think Empire is still going to have the strats, and the writing's going to be on the wall for this one, and Empire are just going to read into it. They're going to be predicting every move from Secret, and they're just going to take this one. Again, it's needed for Empire. They need a little bit of a bounce back just so they can end the season on a bit of a higher note than they currently are on. So I'm going to give this one to Empire. It's tough for Secret. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they can turn it around and make me look like a fool. And who knows, maybe even win it out in overtime. We could see a big match from this one. Still going with Empire on this one, though. Yeah, I'm pretty confident on it. Game number 3 is going to be Virtus Pro versus BDS. I think BDS are going to take it. Virtus Pro are going to put up a really, really good fight, though. Perhaps one of the best fights any team's going to put up against them. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a close match here. I think it could go to overtime. That being said, though, BDS are the powerhouse of the league, and I do think they are still going to take this one. But I'm excited to see what the Russians can do here. Game number 4. A game designed purely just to break my heart. It's Navi going up against G2. I quite like both of these teams. I've started out as a G2 fan and I will always be a G2 fan. But the storyline this season of the mostly British roster of Navi shooting for the top spot in the league, it's a great storyline, and I think Navi are going to take it. Like I say, as well as Rogue, Navi are wanting to finish as high as they possibly can. And if they want to do that, they need to beat G2. So they're going to go into this one ready for it. They're going to be up for the fight. So I just have to side with Navi on this one. It's going to break my heart seeing G2 lose. But if Navi manage to take that top spot and snatch it out of the hands of the French BDS roster, then that's a storyline that I can't pass up on. I'd love to see that. Absolutely love it. Finally, the last game to round out all of Stage 1 is going to be Vitality versus Cavanagh. And again, another primarily British roster. I absolutely love this, and I think Cavanagh are going to take it. Again, if the matches fall right, Cavanagh could leapfrog BDS and finish in the top 2. How insane would that be if the top 2 is Navi followed by Cavanagh? I think my head would explode. My heart would pop just from excitement and just pride. If the British boys can take it to the top teams and walk away with the top 2 spots in the league, man, I think I might cry. That's a bit soft. But yeah, I'm going to have to give this one to Cavanagh. I just want to see the storyline. I want 2 British teams up there. Let's have it. Up the Varna. So that wraps up my predictions and a little bit of a review for the last Playday. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited to see Stage 1 of the European League end? I'm excited to see how it ends. I'm just a little bit sad that it's going to end, if I'm quite honest. But yeah, that being said, fingers crossed 6 Invitational does go ahead as planned. It's looking like there could be a little bit of a spanner in the works with the Brazilian teams possibly not being able to make it, but I've got faith that Ubisoft are going to be able to work something out on this one, and we'll be able to see the 6 Invitational unfold as planned. Fingers crossed. Please. So, that being said, I've not really got anything else to talk about in this video. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. Please feel free to subscribe if you want to see further content from me, and like the video if you did like it. You're always free to dislike it as well. I'm not too fussed either way, do whatever you want. That's why it's there. It's up for you guys to decide. But without further ado then, I'll leave 2 more videos on screen and I'll wrap up this video here. Thank you very much for watching. Peace. So I do actually have something quite cool to wrap up this video with. As you can see, I'm wearing my Navi hat, which recently got delivered. But as well as the hat, I also got this. With my name on it. How cool is that? I love it. I mean, It doesn't fit me because I'm a very chunky boy. Lockdown has hit me hard. That being said, I absolutely love it, and I do have some more jerseys on the way. This is the start of a bit of a collection, and I'm loving it, to be quite honest. My wallet's not, but who cares about money, right? Happiness is all that matters. I'm so broke.